Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will talk about the parameters. The parameters can be found in the Power Query or it can be found in the Power BI reporting. So what is parameter? Parameter serves as a way to easily store and manage a value that can be reused. Alright, so if you want to store particular data and reuse that, and if you want to manage that and you want to manipulate the data according to that particular value, you can use parameters. Alright, so this video I will talk about the parameters, what are the benefits of using parameters, and why are we using parameters with various different type of parameters. Alright, so parameters, as I told you before, it serves as a way to easily store the data and it gives you the flexibility to dynamically change the output of your queries. So this is a very important feature in the Power BI. Alright, so if you want to differentiate various parameters, so typically there are two types of parameters that you can find. One is report parameters. As you can see, one is report parameters, second is query parameters. So if you have worked on Power Query in Excel, you might know about query parameters that you can see from here, right? So if you go to Power Query, you can create various parameters and you can modify your data according to that parameter. So I will walk you through how to use the parameters and what it will make, like give the changes to your data. And first one is report parameters. In this, there are two types of parameters. One is number range and another one is field parameters. So you might be knowing about field parameters because this is the most used parameter, you can say. So this is how it is shown on Power BI desktop. So I will explain you all these parameters and how to use them and what are the use cases. All right. So first of all, let me just walk you through the theory part, like what is numeric range, what is field parameters, and then query parameters. So first is numeric range. So numeric range, with numeric range slicer and the date range slicer, you can create filters for any numeric or date column in your data model. So there are typically three options for filtering your data. First is between numbers or dates, or second option is less than or equal to number or date. Third is greater than or equal to number or date, right? So these are the options, the way you can filter your data. Second option is like you can create the range. For example, you want a set of numbers from 0 to 20 with the incremental step of, let's say, 2. So you want numbers like 0, 2, 4, 6 till 20. So you can create that kind of list of numbers using numeric range, right? Second is field parameters. Field parameters allow users to dynamically change the measures or dimensions being analyzed within the report. This feature can help your report readers explore and customize the analysis of the report by selecting the different measures or dimensions they are interested in. Similarly, query parameters, these parameters give you the flexibility to dynamically change the output. Ultimately, parameters are used to modify your data and store. That's it. That is the objective. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll quickly go to Power BI desktop and explain you step by step how to use this. Alright guys, so now we are on Power BI desktop. My first objective is to find the use case of numeric range, right? So if I go to modeling, there is the option of new parameter. If I click here, I have two options, numeric range and fields. I have to create a use case or I have to explain you both the options, right? So first I will explain you numeric range. So what is numeric range? So for example, in this chart, so all the salesmen, on the basis of their sales, I have a list, right? Number one is Virat Kohli with 27,43,000. Second is Virendra Sehwag, and so on and so forth, right? So now what I want is I want top 5 salesmen in this particular chart. So what I can do is from here I can just select top 5, or from here in sum of amount I can select here as top 5, right? So that is option number 1. Second is I want it dynamically. So what I want is if I select 5, then it should show me top 5. If I select 10, it should show me top 10. So in that case, I have to apply TOPN function. But for that, I need a slicer where I can use 0 to 10 or 0 to 20, where I can select 5 or 10 or 20, whatever it is, and it should show me that number of top salesmen, right? So for that, I need a slicer. For that particular thing, I'll create a numeric range. Go there. What will be your variable adjust? That will be numeric range. Name, we can type in, let's say, top n parameter, right? A data type will be whole number. Minimum is 0 and maximum is 20 and increment is 1. Default, I want top 10 salesmen, right? And let's say create. So now I have this parameter, right? So if I write 5, it should show me 5 salesmen. If I select 10, it should show me top 10 salesmen. But right now it is not working because I have not applied any logic or any connection between these two. So what I have to do is I have to apply this. I have to apply this top n parameter. You can see this is selected value of top n underscore parameter and default is 10, right? So what I have to do is, first let me just try to drag and drop over here. What will happen? So it will show me top n, that is 10. If I select 5 over here, it will show me 5 all across, right? So this is how it is showing me. Now what I have to do is, first of all, let me create a DAX for net sales. So my net sales formula would be calculate function sum of amount in the sales dump table and then bracket close. So this is my net sales. Oh, this is already used. So what I can do is, let me just write net sales without space, right? So what I'll do is, now I'll drag this. You will see sum of amount and net sale will be same, right? Now I can remove sum of amount. This is my net sales. On the basis of net sales, I want top 5. So for that, again, I have to create one measure. Go to measure, top n is equal to, not calculate. First of all, I'll write top n of top n underscore parameter, right? Because I have to create on this, comma, all selected. So now I have to filter out all those salesmen which are present in this particular graph. So all selected salesmen, right? So I have to select all the salesperson. So whoever is there, it should be selected, comma, my net sales. And if you see, it is showing me ascending or descending. It should be in descending. So let's keep descending and bracket closed and press enter. Now let's see, if I put top n in this chart, what will happen? So this visual can't be displayed. Let's see what are the details. Calculation error in measure sales dump top n. A table of multiple values was supplied where a single value was expected. So as you can see, if I go to top n function, or you can say top n measure, this is giving me multiple values, but I want single value. For example, if salesman Virat Kohli is there, I should get one single value. So for that, I want to modify this formula. I have to write calculate net sales, comma, now it should come this way. And now let's see what happens. Bracket closed and press enter. Now I'm getting the total sales in this. If I see top n, it is 1 crore 32 lakhs 95,000. This is the total for all these. But I want the value for Anil Kumble, for Dinesh Karthik, for respective column, or you can say respective row salesman. I should get the top n. So for that, I need to add values. right? Now from values for all the salesperson and bracket closed. Now let's see what happens. Now you can see for each and every person I am getting the top n for the top 5, right? So if I change here to 10, then I will get top 10, right? Now if you say that I am getting all the salesmen in the list, because I am having net sales and top n underscore parameter value which are till the end, so my rows will come even if top n is blank. So what I'll do is I'll remove net sales now and top n underscore parameter value because that is not required. So now you can see for my top n parameters I will have total number of rows. So for example, if I select 2 over here, it will give me top 2 salesmen. If I select 20 over here, it will give me top 20 salesmen, right? If I select 7, let's say, it will give me top 7. So this is how you can play with the data. If you want to have a toggle like top 5, top 10, top 20, you can have various toggles, right? So this is how you can create dynamic reports. Otherwise, there is also a provision where you can just filter out top 5, then you can just type in top 10, but that will be static, right? So this is very useful if you want to create more dynamical reports. This is a very useful tip. All right, so now you have understood the purpose of numeric range, and numeric range gives you a plethora of other things. So you can create a range of data. So if I go back to top n underscore parameter, so you can see the DAX for this is generate series. This is a function, generate series from 0 to 20 with the step of 1. So if I want 0, 2, 4, 6 in the step of 2, instead of 1 I'll create 2 and press enter. This will modify my formula, right? Similarly, if I want to have the data till 50, so I can just modify here and press enter. Now if I select 50 over here, it will give me top 50 if the total number of salesmen are 50 or whichever is less. So this is how you can use the numeric range. As the name is itself telling you, this should be the range in numbers, right? So whatever you are typing here, it is number. You can have top 5, top 10, top 20, top 50 or whatever you want, right? So this is the range between the numbers, right? Now coming to the second parameter, that is field parameter, right? So what is the purpose of fields parameter? Let's go here. Let me just create one table. For example, I want to have the geography wise amount, right? So now I just dragged geography as well as amount. So as you can see in the focus mode, I have total 6 geography: Japan, UAE, Singapore, China, India and Bhutan. And we have the sales for each and every country, right? Now you want to add one more thing. Let's say you want to add product over here, right? And you can just keep the matrix over here. Now you say that currently you have geography wise, next is you want product wise. So you just use the next level hierarchy, and now you can see this is my product wise sales, but you want a toggle. You want a toggle so that if I click on one particular button, it will show me top products, then second button should show me top geography. If I have to have another toggle, it should show me top salesman or XYZ, right? First option is, which is very cumbersome and which we used previously, that is using bookmarks. So if you use bookmark and then you can use the toggle part. Now there is one change in Power BI. There is a new feature, fields parameter, where you can use the toggle. You can create a toggle directly. So now how to create that? Now let's go to new parameter and select fields and select, let's say it is the name as field underscore parameter underscore 1, right? Now you want to have geography, you can drag directly, and you want to have product as well, you want to have salesman as well, right? And then you can reorder them if whatever you want to, right? If you want to have product below, then you can use this, and let's go and create. So now you can see this parameter has been created: geography, salesperson, and product. But now if you see, if I select product or salesman or geography, this data is not changed, right? But I want this to be changed. If I select geography, it should show me geography. If I select salesperson, it shows me sales by the salesperson. So what I have to do is the same parameter that I have created, I should add in this particular graph, right? So my field parameter underscore 1, I should keep this over here. Let's remove these fields and add the newly created parameter. So now as I have selected geography, I am getting the geography wise sales. If I select salesperson, I am getting salesperson wise sales. If I select product, I am getting product wise sales, right? So this is very useful. Now if I have to make it more attractive, I can go to slicer setting. I can make it in the tiles, right? And then I can expand this, and I can reduce the height, right? I can reduce this as well, the way you want, right? And then you can remove the this background is removed from visual. Go to the slicer setting. My slicer header is not required. I can remove this. If you go to values, I can create bold. My font is, let's say, white, and background is, let's say, dark blue, right? And then border can be, again, let's say, to make it more attractive. It might not be good right now, but let's do this. Like, you can create like this. Let's keep light. Yeah, so this is how you can create the buttons without using bookmarks or any other thing. This is so easy. You did this in 2 minutes. Click on product, you will get product wise. Click on salesperson, you will get salesperson wise sales. Click on geography, you will get geography wise sales, right? So this is how you can use field parameter. So this is a very useful trick that you can use to create your dashboards, right? Now coming to my final section, that is query parameters. So now in query parameters, I don't have to go to modeling and create parameters from here, because these are the report parameters. As I discussed in the presentation, we have report parameters and then we have query parameters. For query parameters, we have to go to the Power Query editor, right? So if you have not worked on Power Query and you want to learn more practical use cases of Power Query, then you can watch my previous videos on Power Query. Those are very, very important videos if you want to become a data analyst, right? So now let's go to Power Query editor. Go to edit query. All right, so now we have this data where we are having salesperson, geography, product, date, amount, box per carton, and shipping date. What I want is, in geography, I have 6 countries: Bhutan, China, India, Japan, Singapore, and UAE, right? What I want is, I want to create a parameter that can filter out particular country, right? First option is I can just deselect everything and select particular country, and all the data will be filtered for that particular country. But what is the catch in this? The problem is this is static. You can't change the country again and again. What you have to do is, maybe you can go here and change the country name, or go over here again and change the country name, right? You can just change from India to China and then click OK, then the data will be for China. But this is static and you have to come again and again in the Power Query editor. Second option is using the parameters. So let me just remove the filter, right? Now how we can do this using parameters which will be dynamic. So let's go to manage parameters, click on the down arrow, and then create new parameter. This pop-up bar will show me manage parameters. What is the name of the parameter? Let's say it is country parameter. Then description is, this parameter will help me to filter particular country at one time, right? It is not required or mandatory, so I will deselect. Type is text and suggested value is, so you can use any particular value, or you can select from list of values, or you can have query, right? So what we have in this particular thing is we have 6 countries, right? So we can use list of queries, a list of values, where you can add all the 6 countries. For example, India, then China, then UAE, Singapore, then okay, what happened to Singapore, and then we have Bhutan, and I don't remember the 6th one. Let's keep the 5 values right now. Default I want India, and current value is also India, and click OK, right? So I have created this parameter. Let's go back to the sales dump and let me see which one was the 6th country. All right, so it was Japan. So I'll go back, click on manage parameters, and you can just add 6th one as Japan, right? So now we have the list, and click OK, right? So now what I will do is I have to filter according to this parameter. So I have to go to this table, and in this geography, click arrow down and click on text filters equal to. So in equal to, you will have 2 options. One is the text, where you can just write equal to India. This will again be the static part. But what I want is I want it to be dynamic. So here I can add the parameter. If I click on parameter, as I already have one parameter, so it will automatically select. So this should be equal to country underscore parameter. So this is my parameter that is defined, and default value is India. So once I click OK, it should filter out only India. Click OK, and this is India data, right? So if I go back to the parameter and I, let's say, select China, then sales dump should give me China values, right? And if I close and apply, this should load only the data that is relevant to the China, right? So if I go to sales dump and I see the geography, this is only China, right? So we don't have any data for India, Bhutan, and all other countries, right? So what this will help us in, reducing the data. So for example, you want only the data related to China, and the data is really huge. The data set is really huge, and you can't load the data in the Power BI desktop, or you want to, publish and share across with the people. Then you can, modify the data set, and you can filter out those data, and then you can again change this in the services. So for example, first option was to filter out directly, like for example in Power Query, you can just directly filter out, and then there is no need of parameter, but then that is static. You can't change that again and again. So for example, I am saying, let me remove the filter, right? So now I have all the countries. I say, instead of using parameter, I'll just select China, and the data is only for China, and my data set is also reduced. That is true, data set is reduced, but then if I have to change this in the Power BI services, app.powerbi.com, where I am publishing this report, then I won't be able to change this China to India or to Singapore. But then if I have created a parameter, and then I will have a parameter in the Power BI services where I can change from China to India or to Singapore or any other country. So this gives me a lot of flexibility in working with the large data sets, right? So now there is one way of filtering out. Let's say if I just go to text filter equal to, I just used the parameters, right, and click OK. Right, so now this is one option. Second option is going to advanced editor, and now each geography is equal to country underscore P. So currently there are 2 filters that have been applied. Click cancel, and this filter is not required. Click delete. So you can see there are all the applied steps over here. You can see what all you have done with your data set. Now go to advanced editor. Here each geography is equal to country underscore P. So here it was, let's say, India, right? So if I click done, then it will only be for India, right? Now if I again go to advanced editor, so instead of India, I can just type in my parameter name, country underscore P. It will automatically show me the parameter name which I have defined in the system, and press tab. Once I click done, it will give me the data for whatever is selected in the parameter, and I can just select from here. So this is how you can create a parameter, right? I can again create a parameter from other perspectives. For example, if I have to create a new parameter, there are three ways, right? Let's say I have to work on again country, just to make it easy, country underscore PP. This is my second parameter on country, just for illustration. So this is also not required. Type should be text. Suggested value. So now here we have three options. One is any value, second is list of values, third is query. So any value is simple. You don't need to define anything. Current value is India, and then it will be done. Now second is we have already done on list of values, right? Third is query. So how we can work on query? So let's just cancel this, and on geography, and just remove the filter, right click and add as a new query. So this will give me the list of all the countries, and then let's remove the duplicates. Right click and click remove duplicates. So this is my list. This is my list of all the countries. So you can directly inject this list in the parameter. So now go again on home button, click on manage parameters, new parameters, and again type in, this is my country underscore PP. This is just for illustration, not required. Type is text. It should be query. So now I have to select a query as geography. You can see this is my query. Select geography, and current value should be Bhutan, and press OK. Right. So now this is my new parameter which I have made according to the query. So now go back to the query dump, sales dump, and now again apply the filter. It should be equal to my new parameter, that is country underscore PP, and click OK. Right. So functionality wise both are same, but the second way, this way, the way we have created using query, this is really helpful when there are huge number of data, or you can say multiple distinct values which we can't type again and again, right? So this is very easy. You just create a query and just inject here, and you can have the parameter, right? So this is how you can use the query parameters. So there are various other options, the various other use cases of using parameters, which we can discuss in other tutorials where I will be working on end-to-end Power BI projects. So that will really help you, and I hope this video was useful to you. I have covered all the parameters that we have in Power Query and Power BI. So we have field parameters, we have numeric range parameter, then we have this Power Query parameters, right? So these three all have their own advantages, right? And yeah, you can use them to create your own dashboards which are dynamic. And secondly, if you are interested to know more about them, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can mail me about your queries, and then I'll be happy to assist you. Apart from that, if you are looking for more tutorials on data analytics, more about portfolios or projects, do text me or comment below so that I get to know what you want to know more about. If you want me to work on more SQL related projects, I will be happy to work on those. If you want me to continue with the Power BI tutorials, if you want me to work on HR analytics or sales analytics, or you can say banking sector, because the data is really huge in banking sector, because there are the transactions are in crores, right? So data analytics concept is fairly predominant in banking sector, right? So yeah, so let me know whatever is your query, and then I will be happy to address. Thanks a lot guys for watching this video, and do subscribe if you are new to this channel. Yeah, thank you.